Good afternoon. This is Mark at the Wicked Edge Expert Corner group. You can follow us on Facebook or subscribe on YouTube. And this is a perfect opportunity I have. A Wicked Edge user has contacted me about upgrading his Wicked Edge 100. Let me go show you the Wicked Edge 100. His is a original standard vice Wicked Edge 100 with the short square bar. And he has incrementally improved it by making upgrades and accessories. And now he's looking to do the dual cam upgrade. The dual cam vice is offered in the kit from Wicked Edge for the Wicked Edge 100 base. It comes with a riser block. You can see the hole in there to accept the can on top. We're going to go through that. And that would be one option. Another option, just because this opportunity is here, I want to show you that the simplest option is to change this vice to the new standard vice. And then that gives you other options, such as to put a riser block or a double riser block. Now, all the riser blocks from the Wicked Edge Expert Corner group in the series, all the different sharpeners, they are all can ready. That is, they all are ready to accept the spring array on the dual cam vice that you get from Wicked Edge. Wicked Edge provides the riser block for the 100 series upgrade. We provide a various amount of riser blocks that use the vice and the can across the board, as long as you have the right dimensions on your screws. Each setup, this is a Wicked Edge 100, 120, or 130 setup. This has dimensions for screw lengths. And then when you start using the different, go from one vice system to another vice system, even though these are the same, the screws are different. And you can't use these screws on this without making other changes. And these, because they're different lengths and different heights and different you might have a different vice. All of these things can be used universally on the WE 100, 120, 130 series, which is what makes this set so valuable and practical and usable to all of us. And I did the video before about the quick modification with the drill so that you can use 2 screws. And then with this opportunity, you can go from this and decide, are you going to go to a standard vice? Well, if you're going to go to a standard vice, then you may as well use a riser, because the riser is, number one, upgrade ready, but it gives you the advantage of shifting you to the low angle side, because most of the modern knives that we're sharpening these days are 20 degree and lower. So that makes it easier to sharpen the lower angle range knives before you ever need to think about using a low angle adapter to go to really low. But you can add the low angle adapter on the bottom by working with the riser block. It changes the geometry. We talked about that in Are We Talking Greek with Pythagoras. So we have the opportunity here. The user is going to a dual cam vise. By going a little higher, it favors the low angle range, but it also makes the kit a little taller, and it also steals from the wide angle range. But with a Wicked Edge 100 series base, if you determine down the road through sharpening that you keep trying to move your bracket arms all the way to the end of the square bar for that one or two knives, you can't get to that wide angle, then you can go with a longer square bar. And I do have longer square bars here at the Expert Corner Group that we can cut to be as long as you need it to be. So the 100 is a valuable base because of all the height and because of the riser blocks. And just to explain to you that Doug has made for me to my dimension requests as I've gone through and used all the different sharpeners, whether it's the 60 series or the 100 series or the Gen 3 Pro, the Gen 4 Pro, to find the combination to work with those different vices to give you the ability to accessorize and upgrade and change because of the upgrade options offered by Wicked Edge. So I have them. It's not, I don't mean to complicate it, but because you can build your own on the same platform, and that all the different combinations when you start using this, the spring array in this vise and that vise, they take different screw lengths. And when you're stacking stuff, and sometimes I do what I'm doing right now, I lay it out as a puzzle. That's what I invited you to come join me to do at the Wicked Edge Expert Corner Group, is join me while I do these things and show you what we can do as we create these high boys and tall boys, as I call them, the resto mods of the Wicked Edge sharpeners. So I'm going to look, and I have my boxes of screws. I have all the different screw lengths I can work with without cutting something. So if, as I build them, I record the dimensions and the configurations so I can offer them, but at the same time, I have to play with them to show you the installation. So I get to take the puzzle back apart, make sure the screws fit, and make sure that what you're wanting, I can do it and it's really practical and it makes sense. Because if I put something together and it's hokey and it's not going to sharpen but a handful of knives, I'm not going to recommend that to you. So this is what I'm trying to do right now for a buyer, is to figure out something that I can recommend for him. He's got some options without getting too crazy like I get. But as long as I had it out, I wanted to show you that this was the journey. We started with this, and then Wicked Edge gave us a riser block, and this became the 120 because the vise was taller. And then we had the micro adjusters that we could dial it in. And then Wicked Edge back in whatever, 2016, 2017, introduced the first Gen 3 Pro vise that was flat for the Gen 3 Pro. And then they subsequently came out with a vise that went like that, and it went from the 120 to the 130 and a longer square bar. And then I started putting the riser blocks on here, looking to get super low angle knife edges. And that gave me the place to put the attachment points for the receptacle or the receivers for the stabilizer. So that's how the modularity of it started, was with this, and then with the other Wicked Edge 60 series and the Gen 4 Pro, I started playing since I made this group in the last couple of years to get the different dimensions. And it's hard to put it in a catalog because you have so many options, and I'm working on that. And that's why I make these videos, trying to show you the process and show you that dirty word that I modified, drew out the threads. That's the only modification that I do on the 100. There's one other modification I do like to do. I like to, this has a stop. I take a file, if it's one of my personal, I take a file to it, then it can rotate all around. Those are the two modifications that I do to Wicked Edge. Everything else is bolt-on, accessories, retrofit, that sort of thing. So this is the long story. It got long, but we started with the 100 and we went then with the different models. We expanded, and now I'm trying to amass the catalog, but there's so many options that it's hard to show them all. It gets to be like that auto part Wiggly or Whiteley or whatever it was that was like a newspaper. Thank y'all. Bye.